Welcome the Unfiltered Circle to yet another episode of the Unfiltered by Delavi. And here, as usual, we keep it real, we keep it raw, and we keep it moving. So in today's episode, as you can see from the topic of the video, why giants fail in business, why this business, these big brands we've ever seen, where are they? Where is Uchumi? Where is Nakumatt? Where is Toys and Us in the US? Where are they? Where is Nokia? Where is Yahoo? Have you ever wondered? These businesses were once the biggest brands and biggest names in our households, but today they are nowhere to be seen. And if you're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner, you want to get into the entrepreneurship, you are not excluded from the rules. The rules applies the same. If these big businesses failed, you can as well fail. But we can avoid that if we dissect into their stories, see the reasons why they failed, and avoid these same reasons. So that's why in today's topic, we are going to get into the factors that led to this fall of these businesses, and we are going to use their relevance and give key examples. And on top of that, I'm going to give you now some of the things that you can employ in your business, or if you're looking to start, so that you don't fall in the same trajectory. Okay, we are together. Get your notes, or get your pens, get your books. We are in a class, and the class is up. Okay, so the number one factor, we are going to start with Nakumatt, on the reasons why most businesses fail. I have written them down in my phone, and some of them are going to read, but I'm going to also explain them to you. So number one, we have something called over expansion without proper planning. Over expansion without proper planning. So if you don't know Nakumatt, it's your first time interacting with this brand. This is a brand that started way back in Nakuru as just a small store. By the time it was going down, it had over 65 stores, both in East Africa, that is in Kenya, Rwanda, in the all of East Africa. And what happened with these stores, or what led to the fall of Nakumatt? There are a lot of reasons that led to it, but we're going to in this point specifically, I'm going to check on the over expansion of it. So we found that it really expanded too fast. A key stretch of growth was between 2011 to 2016, when Nakumatt expanded rapidly. For example, in 2011, it had 36 stores and grew to 62 or 63 stores in 2016. By 2017, in February, it had been declared bankrupt. In October 2017, Nakumatt had declared bankrupt. That is after 5 years of expansion. So within 5 years, Nakumatt had doubled its stores from 36 between 2011 to 2017 to 65 stores. That is within a time frame of 5 years. So these stores were expanding because they had the vision to dominate the most of East Africa and even Africa later on, but it didn't have a strategy. So they borrowed a lot of money to invest in these stores so that they can get like new stores, get like goods and a lot of variety for their clients. And there was no proper planning of paying it back, which later on led down to its bankruptcy. When Nakumatt declared bankrupt in 2017, major competitors like Tuskys took over some of their stores, and reasons for bankruptcy were they couldn't pay their suppliers. Some of their shelves were empty, because now when you don't pay your suppliers, they're not going to bring you goods. Definitely, it's usually advisable, if you want to dominate a sector, let's say in Kenya, you want to dominate Kenya, take at least 5 to 10 years to dominate your country. Then now you can expand to outside after that. We've seen Carrefour use this strategy, and it has worked. Carrefour spent like 10 to 15 years just dominating the Middle East. Then later on, it had now expanded to other countries. And Carrefour is still successful to date. So don't be in a hurry to expand. Don't be in a hurry to expand. Over expansion kills a lot of businesses, especially small businesses. I know you have that store. You still don't have proper strategies which is going to ensure that you're profitable if you expand. And so one thing that I usually ask myself before you open that store, or before I open that store, if it doesn't go profitable for at least a year, am I still able to stand? Because even if there's 2% chance that that store might fall, yes, that chance is a chance. So when it comes to business, don't let over expansion kill you. There are also other ways to go into it that ensures that you don't leverage a lot. For example, you can decide and do things like e-commerce or partnerships with brands that are already existing, so that you just don't go all in one and have high overhead costs and low profits that will kill your business. And most businesses die not because they are not profitable, but because of lack of cash flow or poor cash flow management. And that goes to things like you have high overhead costs or high costs for running the business and lowest cash ins that come in. So don't rush with over expanding your business. It's very advisable to grow sustainably before opening a new branch or scaling to new markets. Ensure each and existing branch is profitable and operations are efficient. Test expansions on smaller formats, e.g. mini stores or online channels, before going big. Another thing that I usually recommend, I was at the verge of opening a new store for Divi Organics in Kisumu, actually. And later on, I was like, what if, because we have a very huge client base in Kisumu and also another good one in Mombasa, I decided to open a pickup store in Mombasa, which didn't perform so well, so I had to close it down. Still, the Mombasa clients we have are ordering, is only that they are ordering from us directly, which is online. And I've come to realize that most people who buy products nowadays, they prefer online. So sometimes you have a lot of clients there, you think maybe opening a store there is going to help you. You can first start small. Open that Kamini store first. Let's see how it goes. Or partner with someone who is already there so that you can test that and see how it goes, rather than going big. If I decided that I'm going to open a very huge branch in Mombasa the way I did, maybe it could haven't worked and it could have flopped, and that's a downs to the business. So don't over rush into over expansion when you are not sure of the results. Especially go small, go consistent, and eventually it's going to yield results. Apart from that, we have poor financial management and debt accumulation. Poor financial management and debt accumulations. Debt is good, and don't get me wrong, debt is good, but it's good when invested properly. By the time Nakumatt was going down, it had owed over 30 billion in debt. By the time Toys aren't as in the US was going down, it had over $5 billion in debt. So what happened? The Toys, if you're a US, or if you have seen this, it was all over in the news that Toys R&Us was one of the biggest companies in US that was dealing with toys. Then a private equity came and funded it, or borrowed it 5 billion so that it could invest and compete with Amazon. It went down in 2017 when it was declared bankrupt, owing over $5 billion. On the flip side, Safaricom, Amazon, these are companies that have grown on debt. They've borrowed and invested this in good strategies that have now led to their success. But now you see companies like Nakumatt, like Uchumi, which also borrowed to compete with Nakumatt so that it could outdo Nakumatt. They all went down. So if you borrowing is not the issue. The issue is how you use the money you've borrowed, and how you strategically invest that now. Your debt should fuel innovations and should get you return on investment, not just plug in debt here, open a new store. You don't have any strategy to actually invest this money so that you have proper strategy to pay it back. You'll end up with a lot of stores, a lot of resources that is not helping you, but little to no cash flow, which eventually is going to kill your business or kill your company. So this is something that you should not take for granted. Don't owe things that you can't pay, or don't take debts if you don't have clear or proper strategy on how you are going to pay it back. Another lesson for that, when Nakumatt borrowed this huge money, because it had borrowed from even suppliers, a lot of sources, now it went into debt and now started borrowing from this to pay this, or borrowing debt to pay debt, which is a very toxic cycle. If you're in Kenya, you heard the story of Khalif Cairo. Khalif Cairo was a very known entrepreneur in the car industry, or in the car business. He was trusted by his clients to deliver the cars. So these clients could pay him, and then he could use the money to import the car. For some reason, he got into a very big scandal of debt. That is, he owes money to clients who paid him to get him the cars, but he didn't deliver the cars. Because at one point, maybe squander the money or use the money for other projects, and now he's using this client's money to get this client's car, and using this client's money to get this client's car, and now it cashed up with him. When it cashed up with him, it's now been a circus that is going to take you very long to recover from. Very long to recover from. Why? Because it's using finances poorly and mismanagement of funds for clients. You are losing trust from the clients, and if there's one thing that is very important in business, is trust. People buy from you because they trust you, or people buy from people they trust. So if you lose trust from clients, you just don't lose that clients, you use other clients who are potential clients, because bad news spread faster. Whether we like it or not, bad news will always spread faster. So these are scandals that could have been avoided if there is proper strategies in place to manage debt or to manage finances. It has taken big giants down. So even you and your small business, me and you with our small businesses, it can also easily take us down. So have proper strategy when it comes to financial management, and use debt wisely. Use debt. If you aren't there in a stage where you need debt, don't take it. But if you have to take it with a clear strategy of how to pay back, and have even plan. They say in business you have to plan for even your plans not going according to your plans. So if you have plan A, you should have plan B, plan C as well. It's all risk, but at the end of the day, we want the business to keep running and staying alive, and that can only happen when you have good cash flow. Third lesson is ignoring customers' needs and shifts when it comes to products and services. Brands that have failed due to ignoring customers' shifts, we have Nokia, we have Yahoo, we have Nakumatt, you can name all of them. You find like Nokia once dominated the mobile industry, but now the smartphone revolution came in, and they refused to buy in the mobile brands or shift to smartphone. Now Nokia died, not because they were not profitable, but because they refused to listen to demanding or customers' demands and needs. They ignored the smartphone revolution, that is for touch screens and also apps. Customers wanted, right now the technology, customers usually their demands grow with the growth in the nation that we have. Technology, people's needs, they always change. Nokia refused to shift to smartphones and even employ technology and innovations to match their customers' need. They were taken by Apple, Google, Microsoft, all that overtook Nokia. We have another one, that was Nokia on the Finland. Now we have Kodak, USA. Actually, this is the company that invented the first digital camera. We saw it, Kodak, everywhere, a company from the US which invented digital camera in 1975, but ignored it, fearing it would kill their film business. So customer shift ignored, people moved to digital photography. They lost dominance to Canon, Sony, Nikon, and eventually smartphones filed bankruptcy in 2012. So businesses die when they assume that what worked yesterday will work tomorrow, because customers evolve with technology, lifestyle, convenience, and winners are those who are able to adapt with lifestyles and customers' needs. It's very as simple as what your customers needed today might not be the same thing they are going to need. What your customers needed yesterday might not be the same thing that they need today. And it's your responsibility as the provider of this service to be able to adapt with your clients' needs. Can be from simple as packaging, delivery. Maybe your customers used to come to shop, but maybe due to life factors, now we are in the digital world. They just want their goods delivered to them. You can't make it very difficult for them, and things like now we have slow deliveries or deliveries that are taking up to a week or 2-3 days, instead of making it easier and convenient for them to shop from where they are. Now, because of lifestyle, some people even work at night. So, or throughout the day, they're only available at night. This is the time when they want to shop. So we have things like 24-hour economy coming into the system that's on the rise. Demand for customers to be able to access products and services on 24-hour frame is on the rise. If your business is able to adapt to that, it's going to be very good for you. It's going to be able for you are going to be sustainable. Business who don't want to adapt to that, soon enough they'll be wiped out. If you can't do that physically, you can do it online. We have things like websites which enable your customers to purchase from wherever they are at whatever time they are. There is 24-hour customer service. So adaptability is very important when it comes to business, and businesses that doesn't want to adapt to customers' needs, by the time businesses that doesn't want to adapt to customers' need eventually fail or get wiped out by competitors who are able and willing to do or respond to customers' needs. So this comes in forms of deliveries, customer service, just anything that your customer need for you to be able to get the product or services that they are paying you for. That's upon your responsibility to be able to give it. And some are just ignorant. They just don't collect customer feedback, or they get bad customer feedback and they just avoid it or ignore it. That's also as costly as well. When you lose one client, that client is not just that one. They go tell other 9-10 others about the negative feedback they got from you, and that is loss of clients. In business, you're just there because of the clients. Without clients, you don't have a business. So be very flexible, be very adaptable. And if these big brands like Nokia, Yahoo were wiped out because they couldn't adapt to their clients' needs, you and me as well are not left out. We can as well go down the same road with these two. So my advice to you, in your whichever area or industry you are in, lifestyle is changing, technology is here, AI is here. If you are not careful and you don't want to adapt, you'll be wiped out. I would advise you to be very keen be innovative. Do things as small as maybe making deliveries instead of being 2-3 days to just 1 day, making your clients easier in that aspect, so that these things can actually work for you, and we are here to grow together and move together. They're gonna help your business. So on ignoring market shifts and customer needs as well, Nakumatt example. Well, Carrefour, Quickmart, and Naivas adopted smaller, convenient formats. Nakumatt stuck with giant hypermarkets. They ignored customer trends towards affordability and convenience. They refused to not even refuse, they were slow with moving to e-commerce. When Naivas and Carrefour were moving their stores to even have e-commerce platforms, Nakumatt was slow to that. Instead, they insisted on investing on hypermarkets, big physical stores, which required big money. Meanwhile, clients have started shifting into online shopping or e-commerce shopping, which later on also contributed to their downfall eventually. It's real, like today's customer, they want convenience, they want easy shopping, they want affordability, they want online shopping all the time. These are things that you need to invest in your business. Continuously study your consumer or customer behavior, innovate with e-commerce, delivery, loyalty programs, smaller store, so that you can stay relevant. Right now, all marketing happens on social media. Social media is the go-to marketing platforms. We have TikTok, we have YouTube, we have Instagram, we have Twitter, we have even Snapchat, we have Pinterest. So if your clients are there and you are not there, where are you going to get them? I think in future, instead of customers looking for your location, they'll just look for your reviews online, and then that only will enable them to buy or purchase from you. And I also believe in future, if you don't have a platform, if you are not available online as a business, or right now, I think it will be very hard for you to get clients. Very hard for you to get clients. So move with how the consumers are moving. Move with the consumers' behaviors. If you don't know, you can hire people who know how to do that. Personally, I train on social media marketing. I train on customer service. I train on how to handle this, how to get your clients online, how to brand yourself. And if you are a small business or you are looking to grow and thrive online, I'm the go-to person. Reach me out, check me out on my Instagram _delavie, and you'll get everything there that you need. Let's move to the next point. Another factor that leads to big businesses failing is poor crisis management. Crisis happens everywhere, and it's inevitable. If you're in business, there's a time you're gonna get into a crisis. Can be with your employees, can be with your clients, can be with your suppliers. Crisis is inevitable, but poor crisis management brings businesses down. When Nakumatt owed a lot of suppliers money, they didn't pay their employees. There was no communication at all to the people involved, neither the suppliers nor the employees, or poor communication, no taking of accountability. This resulted into some people quitting, suppliers not giving them products, and also lack of trust, because when you do people dirty and you don't take up accountability, it's loud out there. People spread the gospel. Poor crisis management will make you fall faster and quicker than anything else. Remember the scandal of Kendall Jenner with Pepsi in 2017 when they did an ad with Pepsi where Kendall was giving a police officer Pepsi, which the public translated as ignorance to their actual needs. And Pepsi came back defending. They started by not taking accountability and defending that, and even it led to more people being more aggressive and more angry about the situation. Later on, they had to pull that video down, but to date, still that brand is associated with that, and they lost some clients and trust as well. Trust takes a lot of time to build, but very little time to lose. So ensure that in everything that you do, you manage crises nicely. Here in Kenya recently, there was this lip oil scandals. There was this lip oil scandals where some brands that sell lip oil, the clients complained that those lip oil were banning them. One of the brands that I really, and congratulations to Joanna K Cosmetics, they took accountability and moved forward, and the founder said, we don't know that was happening, and explained the reasons and took accountability that if you have a product that had done that to you, they apologized and ordered. I think they took accountability in terms of saying that they could refund, or you could go with the lip oil on the shop and da. In other words, I don't know how that went, but they took clean accountability. There are other competitive brands that decided to ignore, which I don't know how that went for them. But to date, the brand for Joanna K Cosmetics is still standing, because for that, your clients trust you, and also they trust that you care about them. There's a very known beauty retail outlet in CBD. What's the name of this brand? What's the name of that brand in CBD that had expiry dates, then published new ones, and then decided to sell these products on offer? And they're also known for profiling clients. You know that brand. You don't know? It's a beauty brand, Linton's. Yeah. It was Linton's branch in town. They put some products on sale. Unfortunately, these products were expired. So what happened? Some new stickers for new expiry dates were printed on the existing products that were expired. Then they were selling to clients on offer. This scandal was here online. And one thing that I saw the people, the management did, is first they started closing down their comment sections when this scandal happened, when our clients were complaining, why do you put new expiry dates? Why are you selling expired products to us on discount? The comment section were, at first, they closed down all the comment section, and now first dismissed the claims. Later on, I think they did an apology letter, which by this time the damage was done. So those are things that bring brands down. They've brought huge brands down. They've brought huge businesses down. Poor crisis management. Please, please, please take accountability. Your clients trust you because they know that you are supposed to help them. But if you do things that anger these clients, the same clients will bring you down. The same clients that build you up also have the power to bring you down. So that's why you need to be very careful how you handle your clients. And when crisis happens, please take accountability. I've had several times in business where I have to resend products to my clients and on my own cost. Sometimes we give out the products to the shuttles that now parcels them to individual or respective countries. Let's say this one is going to Mombasa. We just packaged it well, but they mishandled it there. So the client receive a broken glass of a serum, or receive the serum in a very bad condition. Now they reach out. It's upon me as the business owner, the entrepreneur, to refund that. It's upon the business to refund or replace that at your own cost. So what do? I just package another bottle of serum, then send it at my own cost. The client is happy, and they are more likely to even refer other clients. So manage crisis very well. Don't refuse accountability. Sometimes it's also not your mistake, but once the client feels like they don't get the value from their money. Whatever they paid for is not whatever they are getting. It's upon you to help and ensure that you resolve that. There is digital prints right now, and the internet never forgets. So how you handle a situation, if we are still remembering that Kendall Jenner scandal in the US that happened back in 2017. Another one was for United Airlines. There was a time that a viral video circulated online of how poorly a client was being dragged, and they first came out defending the airlines. The founder came defending the airlines, the crew of the airlines, and still to date, by then no empathy was, no communication that happened, no empathy. The founder, I don't know whether it was the manager or what, came back to defend the crew. Later on they had to apologize, but after the damage was done, to date the United Airlines is still associated with that scandal, and I am sure they lost like lots of clients. So it's very important for you to understand how to manage crisis, because it's inevitable. You won't be able to serve everyone at 10 out of 10. Sometimes mistakes do happen, and sometimes life is just life, and it's upon you to ensure and understand that you clean your brand, you leave clean prints of your brand or your business. Otherwise it can as well take you down the way it took down Nakumatt, it took down, or it has it has given a wrong brand reputation or negative brand reputation, like for Enron for the USA and also the United Airlines. So that's very important. Another factor that leads to fall of giant businesses or even businesses in general is weak governance and lack of transparency. This can bring your business in many aspects. For example, Nakumatt was a family-run business. They didn't exploit, or they didn't hire outside governance or good strategic corporate governance. And by the time it was falling down, there was a lot of family feuds within the family, and also business fell down due to misappropriation of funds, because now they used to use money that they've acquired from borrowing to fund their lifestyle, their extravagant or expensive lifestyles, because this was a family-run business. Even if you're a small business, ensure that your financials are clean. You can hire outside. If you can't do it, you can usually hire outside. It's very important for many small businesses today to most small businesses today still operate informally, which limits trust with partners, investors, or even customers. One of the reasons it was very hard for Nakumatt to be salvaged is because they didn't even have proper financial records, because this business was run internally by the families. They didn't have audits. They didn't have good financial audits. It's very important for you to have good, clean records with the government, with your finances, your accountants. If you can't do it yourself, you are usually advised to hire. Keep your records clean, your records with your suppliers, the amount of sales you make, the taxes. Do it clean so that it's easy to also salvage you in case of a crisis. Nakumatt was purely led by mostly family, especially at the top ranking management level, and they used to even use this money, some money that they've borrowed, to fund their lifestyles. Also, a lot of money laundering was happening within the business, with shell corporate companies even outside Kenya that were later discovered. So it's very important for you to keep your banks and your accounts clean as a business. Do it. It's very important. You need to set up strong governance structures, boards, auditors, financial reporting system. Even small businesses should separate ownership from management. Separate ownership from management as a small business owner. Yes, it's your business. I was also a victim, using your business money to fund your own lifestyle, especially if even you don't pay yourself. So you just do it, you're like freestyling, which I won't recommend, by the way. Right now we have proper accounts. We are actually outsourcing our accounts. We have good auditing, we have good tax, all that reports, it's there. So when an investor wants to come in, it's easy for them to come in because we are on a clear state. When someone wants to fund you, they're going to fund you. Well, the first thing they're going to ask is the numbers. Where are the numbers? How consistent are they? How can they be verified? So keep your numbers clean. Keep your operations in terms of finances very clean and traceable. Very important. The second last point is on over dependence on one business model, that is. Nakumatt only relied on physical hypermarkets, no online strategy, no smaller formats, no diversification. When competition shifted, they had no plan B. And you should learn to diversify your revenue stream and don't depend on one model. How do you diversify your revenue when you are just in one business? Let's say so. For example, I'm in the beauty industry. We are in the skincare space. How do we get sales? We have the normal sales from our main office that may be clients walking in, or from social media. They've seen us on social media, then they come in and buy. So we have social media, we have e-commerce, then we have physical stores. Under e-commerce still, we have several e-commerce platforms. We have our own website, we have a store with Kilimall, we have a store with Jumia. Those are three different sources of revenue. Under our physical stores, we have a main office in the Parklands where we have both services still under skincare and also products. Services, we have the skin analysis, which we do with an AI advanced skin analysis machine, a machine that is able to detect what's happening both on the skin surface and also inside the skin, and it gives recommendation on lifestyle factors and things you should do. It's going to tell you your skin age, your skin concerns, be it dark spots, acne, to what intensity, and now recommend what are you supposed to use depending on that. We have facials done. Those are services in the main office. We also have a pickup station in town. So if you can't access the main office, you can access it in town. You can access products in town. We also do deliveries everywhere. Be it you're in Canada, you are in Zambia, you're in Tanzania, Uganda. We can deliver products to you. So those are different platforms. So today, if our Instagram crashes, our clients can still get us in WhatsApp. We also have WhatsApp group. In those WhatsApp, they can also still get us on TikTok or from our website or Jumia or Kilimall. Today, if your TikTok goes, can your clients still get you? Or if your shop burns down, God forbid, can you still access your clients? So don't rely overly on just one stream. Strategize your business in such a way that it can still thrive if one thing goes down, because we never know what's coming in tomorrow. So don't over rely on just one strategy when it comes to business. Even the Bible says that you should invest here and invest here and invest here and invest here. And those are just the ones that I've mentioned for DV. There are still ones that we still want to come in with. We still want to launch even hair products so that we can have a bigger client base. So that's something that you really need to check on. Don't just rely on one. And this is not the economy to just rely on one stream of income in business. Our last factor is arrogance of success. I think most people won't say, oh, I'm humble, I won't fall a victim to that, but they do say that money amplifies whom you are. Okay, I don't believe in money changes people. It just gives you more freedom and buys you better things, but it gives you power. And what people do with power is very different. We have something called arrogance of success, whereby you believe you are too big, you can't be taken down. You've built, you have the numbers, nothing can take you down. Let not money and success lie to you that nothing can take you down. It has brought giants down. We have the examples of Kodak and Nokia and Yahoo. Yahoo decided not to even go into social media and stuff and do research on inventions and innovations to serve their clients better, because they believed that the big wings. They believed that they were the ones to say. We have Nokia, we have Kodak. All these brands, they just believed they were too big to fail, and decided they're not changing how they do their things. They're not doing any improvements on anything. Even they're not shifting with clients' demands. And they failed. They went down. Yahoo even ignored the chance to even buy Facebook and even Google. Why is Yahoo today? I think a very small percentage uses Yahoo, a very small one. But this was a brand with a very big potential, because one, it already had a good client base. If they just decided that let's serve our clients the best, they could still be there at the top. We have Nokia. Nokia just believed that they were too big to be wiped out. They were the first one to invent phones, so how could smartphones wipe them out? By the time Nokia was ending, the CEO gave a speech that was like, we didn't fail because, I don't know, it's something like, we didn't fail because we didn't try, we tried our best. But their best wasn't including things like innovations to serve the clients, or to go with the trend where now we have the smartphone era. where people need smartphones. People want to just use things that makes their life easier and convenient. And trust me, the same people are the same ones you are serving today in your business. So don't ever think that because you've built a brand too big, you have now the biggest brand there on top, nothing can bring you down. Stay humble. Keep humility. They say success breeds arrogance, but humility and constant learning keeps giants alive. I'll repeat that. Success breeds arrogance, but humility and consistent learning keep giants alive. So if you want to stay alive, you want to stay there on the top. Stay humble, learn, because your clients are the ones who are going to teach you the best lessons. The ones who are going to teach you how to treat them better and better and better. Once you keep hearing from them, you keep refining your products and services to meet their needs and concerns. You are going to stay at the top of your game. In summary of what we've learned today, let me put this phone down. In summary, we've talked about those 5 factors that led to the fall of giants in businesses. We had over expansion, don't fall into that trap, poor debt management and poor financial management. Please live within your means and don't overstretch your business. We've also learned about arrogance, that is, don't let success make you arrogant. We've also learned about poor crisis management. Take accountability whenever something happens. As a business owner, if you want to thrive, take accountability. And we've seen these big brands fall, and maybe you are wondering why. Now you know, but at the same time, the only reason why we are sharing this and the only reason why we are here is so that we can avoid them and we can do better now that we know better. Thank you for watching till this far, and I hope so this helps you. Share this video with a business owner, a manager somewhere. I think this is beneficial to everyone, even to you personally. If you're a content creator, you are a business owner, you want to get into the business space, please avoid these mistakes. In our next episode, we are now going to dissect into the opposite. That's why big giants rose, why they rose. Majorly, we're going to you'll see that episode when it pops next into your screen. But thank you for watching this far, and you can also give me some of the mistakes that made you fall, if you have fallen in business, because business is not for the faint-hearted. I know maybe you've tried and it didn't work. What reason can you give so that we can help each other and understand why these businesses fall? What's one of the lessons that you learned from the failure of your business? Put it down in the comment section below, and see you in the next one. Bye.